Okay, the final follow-up to the discussion that we started a couple sessions back on the grand lie that we are told: a quitter never wins and a winner never quits. Bull pucky. Now that we know that, in fact, they do, and they do it with discipline, and it is probably why they ended up the winner that we now know them as, because they quit things that weren't working to work on the things that eventually won big. The question you have now is, when is it not the time to quit, right? Such a good question. Let's discuss.
Starbucks had been failing in China for 9 straight years. Howard Schultz kept sending his top executives from Seattle, which was the wrong seat. He finally made one change. He stopped sending Seattle leaders and he hired Belinda Wong, a local leader with cultural fluency, to rebuild the strategy from scratch. China quickly became Starbucks' second largest market in the world, second only to the United States. 9 years of failure turned around in one hire. Billions now in annual revenue. The seat was the problem. And that's why I created the missing multiplier diagnostic, to identify the seat in your business that is quietly costing you right now. You can get it below.
You don't quit just because it's hard. Anything worthy in life is hard. Love is hard. Happiness is hard. And so is success at anything. Hard is when the fun starts. Oh, write that one on your Instagram page. Hard is when the test begins. That's when the men get separated from the boys and the women get separated from the girls. It drives me nuts when I hear people say lame and damaging things like, you know when it's time to quit when you aren't having fun anymore, or when you don't wake up excited and enthused and energized every day. Come on, grow up, be an adult. Look, even for something you have a love for, a soulful passion for, the day to day, it's gonna suck 95% of the time. It's not going to be fun every day, and most often it's going to be tedious, laborious, mundane, and an outright freaking grind. I just, in fact, described the process of producing Darren Daily for you. You have no idea the tedious, inconvenient, laborious, and draining grind it is to produce, package, and deliver you a big idea every morning, 260 times a year. It's not fun, but I love it. And I do it for this right here. This is that 5%, the ability to talk with you here and give you direct mentorship on things that matter and can make a difference in your life. Then I get to read your comments and later hear about the impact something might have had on your marriage, on your kids, in your business, with your health, or for your income. The 5% makes up for the 95% many times over. And that will be true for anything you wish to succeed at as well. Make sure that you wrote that down. Put it on a sticky and put that on your mirror or your computer monitor. This is gonna suck 95% of the time. Understand that that's okay. There's nothing wrong with what you're doing. That's just the way it works. Deal with it. The key point here is this: do not expect it to be fun. Expect it to be hard. If it were easy, everybody would do it. Because it's hard is why it's so valuable. Hard is not a sign that you should quit. Hard is a sign that you are about to separate yourself from the herd if you persist. Now, there does come a time when you might need to pivot. Not quit, just take a different direction. As Will Rogers says, if you find yourself in a hole, the first thing to do is to stop digging. For instance, Netflix started out as a mail order DVD service. You remember that? Then to downloadable films, then to streaming films, and now 85% of their new spending is going to original TV shows, films, and other productions. That's more than HBO, Disney, Warner Brothers, making them just no longer a DVD rental company, but your greatest competitor of people's time, attention, and productivity. If Netflix has their way, we will all be doing nothing but Netflixing and chilling. Still don't really know what that means. Did you know that YouTube started out as a video dating site? Yeah, launched in 2005 on Valentine's Day with the unofficial slogan, "Tune in, hook up." Creepy, right? Everybody else thought so too. After 5 days, nobody uploaded a single video, and then they pivoted. And now we have Justin Bieber. Facebook started out equally creepy. It was called Face Mash back in 2003. It is where pictures of two people were pitted next to each other, and you chose which one was hotter than the other. I guess I need to say, thankfully, Zuck pivoted and went in a completely different direction. Now we have Facebook. And I'm kind of conflicted about saying that that's a good thing. Slack was started out as Glitch, a video game platform. They developed a communication platform while working on the game as a team, one that was so efficient at making them unsuccessful in making the game. Seriously, the founder Stuart Butterfield said that But they thought other people would love the addictive benefits of being constantly distracted by random communications, and then they created Slack. And it seems that they were right. Slack is now worth $5 billion, and it has probably cost the world $400 billion in productivity, but that's just my back of the envelope math. IBM was the big blue giant for so long. Then IBM compatible personal computers of the 80s and 90s came out and were offered at a fraction of the price. The blue giant was brought to its knees and was about to go into the light like Kodak and Blockbuster. But then they pivoted hard. They literally tossed their entire legacy into the wastebasket and went whole hog into IT consulting services for large organizations. Today, IBM is worth $170 billion. Nintendo began as a playing card company in the 1880s. That demand waned in the mid-20th century. They pivoted into a taxi company. That crashed. An instant rice company. Bust. A vacuum cleaner. Nah. Then, eventually into an hourly hotel chain. You know what those are used for, right? Me neither. Anyway, that petered out. And in the 1970s, they negotiated the rights to distribute the first video game console, and the stocky Italian plumber and his skinny brother invaded our lives from there. Today, they're worth some $45 billion. So there you have it. I hope that helped. W.C. Fields sums it up when he said, if at first you don't succeed, try. Try again, then quit. There's no use being a damn fool about it. And I'll add the pivot option for you to consider as well. Tell us, have you changed your mind just a touch about something being hard, unexciting, and maybe not fun, and now know that that's okay? And after the stories and examples that I gave you, is there something that you need to pivot on right now? Share that with us in the comments below.